Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, 10 Ways to Wear It. I'm Alicia, and on this channel I take one fashion item or one fashion trend and show you guys 10 different ways to wear it. Now in today's video I'm going to be sharing my full routine on how I create very simple and youthful makeup looks. If you don't know, I am in my late 30s and I love my makeup to look youthful. I like it to look fresh. I like to look vibrant. I don't want to look old. I don't want to look haggard, and sometimes makeup can really enhance the things that you don't want to enhance, like your wrinkles, your fine lines, your dark circles. So I have put together a nice routine for myself to create makeup that looks more youthful, that makes me look really fresh. It makes me look healthy from the inside, and I thought it would be a great idea to share it with you all, for those ladies who are in my age group, late 30s, or for anybody basically, because it's a really good routine. It does involve a few steps, so when I say simple, the look itself overall is simple, but the routine does involve a few steps to get this look, so I think you guys will really like it. It doesn't involve too many products. I pretty much use the same products to do different things on my face and things like that, but I'll have everything listed in the description. But if you're interested in seeing how I created this simple yet youthful makeup look, stay tuned for this video. Alright, so before I even start with my makeup, the first thing I like to do is spray my face with this Hyaluronic Hydrating Essence Spray by Revolution. I've been loving this because it's really been doing a great job of evening out my skin tone. So I use this before I do anything as far as makeup. I also use this on an everyday basis. So I like to just spray that on and then just kind of press it into my skin, just to start off that hydration process. So once that's nicely pressed in, I like to go in with my moisturizer. Lately I've been using the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. This is a really great moisturizer, you all. It's not greasy, it's not oily, but it does a great job of deeply moisturizing my skin, particularly underneath my eyes where I do get fine lines. So I love this moisturizer.
Sometimes I wanna scream, oh my God, you got me in so much trouble now.
So after I moisturize, I do like to go ahead and go in with my primer, and I'm using my holy grail. This is the only primer that I use these days, and that is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Absolutely love it. It makes my makeup last all day. It's not greasy. It feels like a serum going on, and I love it. I'm hooked. Alrighty, so I'm the kind of person who loves to start with my eyes. I like to get the eyes out of the way before I get into the rest of the face, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyebrows. I like to start by brushing them out with just a simple toothbrush that I've converted into my eyebrow brush, just to fluff them up and get them standing up nice and tall. Get those hairs. My eyebrows are very unruly, so I have to like really brush them and try to tame them before I shape them out. So lately, to fill in my eyebrows, I have been using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the color black. Now I know black can be kind of harsh, but this is like a really fine tip pencil, if you all can see that. And so I go in super light-handed with this to not make it so stark, but you can always use a dark brown. I'm chocolate, so the black doesn't come on my skin as harsh as it would if you were lighter than me, but going in with super light-handed strokes really does help to create a nice, you know, realistic looking brow without having that like boxy, you know, hard brow type of look. And I'll show you all right now. So as you can see, going in very light-handed helped me to create a very natural brow. After I go ahead and fill in the brow, I like to go in with the spoolie on the other side of this pencil and just kind of brush them out a little bit. And as you can see, even though I use black, it's not super harsh. It doesn't look like, you know, that stark black type of brow. It almost looks like I use like a dark brown. So really love that. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the other eyebrow. So once I'm done filling in the brows, I like to go in and shape them out with the Kevyn Aucoin Skin Enhancing Concealer, and I use the color SX14. I absolutely love this product. It's super pigmented, it's full coverage, and it really is moisturizing, so it doesn't make my lid super dry. I do kind of pull it down onto the lid once I'm done shaping out the brows, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do that really quickly. And I just use this little flat brush. This is a Wet n Wild brush that I got from Amazon for like 49 cents, and I just go ahead and dip it in the Skin Enhancing Concealer and shape out the brows.
Girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong?
And I usually just drag that straight across just to make sure that my brows are symmetrical, and then I'll go ahead and apply a little bit onto the lid.
I don't know what I could say to convince you.
Now I like to take this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush to go ahead and spread out that concealer on my lids.
Myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing you. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know.
So once that's all spread out, I go ahead and take a different Deluxe Crease Brush to go ahead and set the lids. And to set them, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder in the color Medium Deep. This is my favorite thing to use to set my lids because it's nice and light, and it doesn't affect, you know, how the eyeshadow goes onto my eye or how whatever I use on my eye goes on. So I like to set my lids with that.
Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love.
So once the lids are all set, I like to go ahead and line out my eyes. Lately, I've only been using the Bold and Sexy Liquid Liner by Black Radiance. I love this liner. It has two different tips. It has like this little thin tip here, and it also has like a marker style tip. I use both. It depends on how I'm feeling. I'm gonna go ahead and use the marker side this time because it usually just makes a really nice, fat, sleek line that makes applying the eyeliner super easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that side and just line my eyes real quick. And lining my eyes ahead of time helps me to apply the glue. I usually just apply my lash glue right on top of that black line. So we'll go ahead and do that really quickly.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to turn things up. And he knows what gets me going.
And one of the reasons I do like to do my eyes first is because, as you can see, I do kind of take my finger and pull my lid. And if you do that after you've done your foundation, your concealer, and all of that, sometimes you can leave an indentation or a fingerprint in your makeup. And so I've learned my lesson after doing that a few times. So I just do my eyes first, and then I do the rest of my face. But as you can see, I went ahead and lined my eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my lashes. Like I said, I like to go right over that line with my lash glue. And the lash glue that I prefer to use is the Duo green bottle. This dries clear. It goes on white and it dries clear. I will link all of these products for you all, but I think this is one of the best lash glues that you can use because it makes my lashes stay on all day, and I've never had any issues with it. So I really love this one. I think I found out about this one from a YouTuber and Instagrammer named Beats by Deb. She always swears by this one, and her eye looks are just so elaborate. She uses glitter and all that stuff, and I'm like, if her lashes can stay on with that glue, then I need to try it out. So let's go ahead and apply that right on top of that eyeliner. So while the lash glue dries down on my lids, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my lashes, which I do like to apply a little bit of glue to those as well to really make sure that it stays on my eyes all day. The lashes that I'm gonna be using are made by a brand called Dye Silk. These are from Amazon, and they are in the style 002, and I really like them because they're fluffy, but they're also pretty natural looking. They're nice and long, so they do pop on the eyes, but they're not like so over exaggerated. I do not like those extra exaggerated lashes on me. I think they look so beautiful on other people, but on me they just do not work. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply some lash glue to these, let them dry a little bit, and then we'll get these lashes on. Alrighty, so the glue on my lid has dried down. It's turned clear, so it's ready for me to apply the lashes. The glue that I put on the lashes has also dried, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick them on now. And to do that, I just try to get them as close to the lash line as I can. I do kind of take my finger and pull down my real lashes because they're very unruly and curly, so I just try to get them out the way as best I can, and then just pop those lashes on.
So look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation.
Once they're on, I like to just take the tweezers and really press them into my waterline, I guess you could say, and into my real lashes as well. And there, those are on. They are gonna stay on all day long. The next thing I want to go ahead and do before I move on to the face is apply some color to brighten up my waterline, and I like to use this LA Girl Pro Primer. It just glides on nice and easy, and it's in sort of like this beigey color. I used to use white, but I found that white was just too stark for my waterline. It just looked kind of weird, especially when I would take pictures. So I find that this sort of beigey color is perfect for my waterline. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that just on the lower lashes and the waterline. And I love applying that because it really does brighten up my eyes, and it makes them look bigger as well. As you can see, they already look bigger, and it just makes me look a lot more awake. So I love that, especially when I go ahead and put on my lower lash mascara. It really looks nice. So now that we have that on, we can go ahead and start on this face. Thing that I like to do is go ahead and apply my concealer first before I apply my foundation. I've been hooked on a few concealers lately. The first that I'm using is this Tarte Creaseless concealer. It's a super thick concealer, and I really like it because it's not very watery, so you don't have to worry about letting it sit too long. So I do like to apply that because it does cover the darkness underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna go in with that first. And as you can see, this color is not too far off for my complexion. It's not super bright. So I'm gonna go in with something that's a little bit lighter, and this is also a holy grail for me, and that is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in the color Deep Olive, and as you can see, it's like a light tan color. This is gonna help bring the brightness to my under eyes. It is a little more watery than the Tarte Creaseless concealer, but I do love this one as well. It's full coverage, and it's just a really good drugstore concealer that's super cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that right on top.
Not a love song, not another love song.
And now I'm just going to go ahead and allow that to sit for a minute while I apply my foundation. For my foundation, I've recently discovered a new foundation that I am hooked on. It is a luxury foundation, and that is the Hourglass Foundation Stick. I am in love with this foundation. Am I holding it the right way? I hope so. But this is in the color Chestnut, and it's the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick, and it's just a really great foundation. Ever since I discovered, I've been hooked. So, and it's full coverage, it's nice and moist, it goes on the skin so nicely, and it blends in super easily. Just like to make like a little X under my chin. So now that I've applied that, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this sort of angled brush. This is a brush that I picked up from Amazon. It doesn't have a name on it. It just says BS Small Face Angled. So I don't know what brand that is, but it's a really good foundation brush.
I don't wanna meet your mother. Never ever ask me how I've been. Remember why you have my number. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do.
Alrighty, so now that that concealer has had some time to dry down and I've applied my foundation, oh, I love this foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my concealer, and I'm using this angled brush. This is made by the brand Japonesque, and I did pick this up at TJ Maxx. I really love this brand of brushes, but it's like a simple, small little angled brush that I like to use to kind of pat in that concealer underneath my eyes. So let's go ahead and get into that.
You on. Not looking for something steady, not ready for that. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move the way my hands feel.
So now that we've mostly blended in the concealer, I like to take what's left on the brush and a little bit of what's under my eyes and kind of pat my forehead. Before, I used to actually apply concealer on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose, but now I just kind of use whatever's on the brush so that I don't go overboard with that. As I'm patting it in, I'll just kind of take what's left and kind of just go down my nose like that. And then I'll pat a little bit more. Go onto the chin and just kind of spread it out that way instead of actually applying concealer directly to those areas. And that just helps me not to go overboard like I used to.
Here's your time to shine, now show me what you can do.
And I do like to kind of pull that concealer up to kind of lift my face a little bit.
In the dark, with every move I make, you're falling.
And you want to do more of a patting motion than swiping, because swiping just kind of moves the product a lot and it doesn't pat the product into your pores. So you want to kind of pat more than swipe, but you're kind of doing like a pat swipe, I guess you could say, like kind of moving it as you do pat. But don't just, because that's just going to move the products around a lot. And over time I've just learned that, because I used to just go in and just constantly just swipe and swipe and swipe and wonder why it's not covering and it's not doing what I need it to do. Now I just kind of pat it in and it really does a better job of covering and also spreading the product where I need it to go. Alrighty, so now that that's all patted in, I'm gonna take a different brush and just kind of pat it a little bit more. And this is more to pick up any excess product that is on my face before I set it. Now before I set, I do want to go in with that foundation brush and just kind of blend out those lines where the foundation and concealer meet.
You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning.
Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and contour my face a little bit before I do set my under eyes. And I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. And this is in the color Toffee Teas. It's a nice dark chocolate brown and it's just perfect for me to contour with. So I really love this product.
I'm a hiatus. I'm a hiatus. Baby, don't check for me.
Now that I've contoured out my cheeks a little bit, I didn't go too overboard with that because I don't want to be overly contoured. I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose a little bit using that same Fenty Beauty contour cream. And I'm just going to take this Japanese brush. It's like a little flat, kind of thick, bushy, flat brush. And I'm just going to go down the sides of my nose with that.
Don't take it personal.
And I do like to drag that color into my lids a little bit just to give them some shape. And I didn't do that when I did my eyes because I always tend to do it when I contour my nose. So I'll go ahead and add a little bit of color to my lids that way. And a little bit of definition to them as well. And it also makes the nose contour just look a little bit more seamless. If you guys can see that, just looks a little bit more seamless.
Don't ask me, 'cause baby, I'm a hiatus.
Alrighty, so before I set anything, I do want to go ahead and blend out that nose contour with my foundation brush, just so it's not looking too harsh, so we can get ready to go ahead and set the face. And before I set, I'm going to go underneath the eyes one more time just to make sure there's no creasing. And now we are ready to set the face. To set my under eyes, I'm going to be using the Mercier translucent powder in medium deep first, and then I'm going to go over that with the translucent color. And I'm just going to be using this angled Japanese brush to go ahead and apply some powder underneath my eyes. Alrighty, so now that I've gone ahead and patted in that translucent powder in medium deep, I do want to brighten things up a little bit, and to do that I'm going to be using the Mercier setting powder in the color translucent, and that's going to give me a little bit more brightness. It is a sheer powder, but it does help to kind of lighten things up and also just to set everything in place as well, to make sure that it doesn't move, that I don't get oily, that I don't get creasy and things like that. This is like the best powder you could ever use for setting your face. Alrighty, so now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and set my contour that I put down, and I'm going to do that with the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in the color Medium Deep, and I'm just going to be going in with this contour color right here to go ahead and set all of the areas that I did contour. And I'm just going to use this flat brush. This is another Amazon brush, and I'm just going to use that to apply this setting powder to my contoured areas.
Knew it, but I didn't tell my heart. Let go, I couldn't do it.
And I'm also going to take that along my jawline to kind of cut off that jawline.
Oh, give me a fix, tell me if it's whatever that's wrong.
And with what's left on the brush, I'm going to go down the sides of my nose.
Whatever that's wrong. Isn't it funny?
Just like that. And because I did drag up that creamy Fenty bronzer into my lids, I'm gonna go ahead and use that same contour color from the Black Radiance contour palette to go ahead and kind of set the lids as far as the area that I dragged that bronzer into. So I'm just gonna go right into my crease with that color.
Away from escaping dreams.
And as you can see, that definitely brought some more definition to the eyes. I didn't do much to the eyes when I applied, you know, the concealer and kind of set my eyelids, but now I am bringing some shape to them by dragging up that contour color and that Fenty bronzer into the lids just to add some dimension and so forth, and it looks a lot better. So now we're gonna go ahead and set the rest of the face, and to do that I'm just gonna use my Sephora Micro Smoothing Powder, and I'm gonna go in with this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm just gonna pat lightly and just kind of pat that onto the rest of the face. And I love this powder because it really does make everything look a lot more poreless and smooth. So them naming it Micro Smoothing Powder really is a fitting name because it really does do a great job of finishing off the skin. And I'm also blending out the edges that I see, any harsh lines that I see while I'm applying this Sephora Micro Smoothing Powder. Alrighty, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and apply some blush, and for that I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush. This is in the color Daiquiri Dip, and it's just a beautiful reddy orangey type of color. It really does give me that natural flushed look, and I just love this blush. So I know it's not a good idea to apply cream blushes on top of powder, but I find that it makes my makeup look a lot more natural when I do that. So it instantly brings that skin-like look to my skin. So I do like to do this after I go ahead and set my face. A lot of people will probably do this before they set the face, but I like to apply it after, and you'll see how it looks right now.
Forgot about us. All you wanna do is fight, bringing me down every night. Yeah, I think that I'd rather be alone.
Alrighty, so as you can see, I went ahead and applied that blush, and I was very careful while patting it on not to move the product underneath. So I patted super lightly, putting that product on. It's very pigmented, so it definitely doesn't take much to get it onto your skin, but I really do like the sheen that it brings on top of that powder, because my face is very powdery right now because I did go ahead and set everything with the Laura Mercier powders as well as the Sephora Micro Smoothing Powder. So that just sort of brought a little bit more sheen back to the skin, a little bit more naturalness. My setting spray will also do that, but I really love the idea of bringing that little sheen back to my skin before setting my face. So I really do like that. Super pretty. Alrighty, so the last two things I need to do are my lips and apply some mascara to my upper and lower lashes. But before I do that, I like to go ahead and set my face. I like to set my face first because I find that setting my face after applying mascara can get a little bit messy. The mascara can start to run or it can start to slide around a little bit. So I like to set my face first. My two favorite setting sprays are the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face Spray. I know that one is like so controversial because of the scent, but I actually really do like it because it makes my makeup last all day. I actually ran out, so I need to go to Sephora and pick up some more. So I'll be using my other favorite, which is the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set. This is super cheap. You can find it at Target or any drugstore, and I really like this. It makes my makeup last all day, and it does keep me nice and matte. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray that on my face and then dry it down with my little fan here. Alrighty, Alrighty, so now that my setting spray is dried down, I'm going to go ahead and get into these lips, and I'm just going to be using my brown liner that I buy from Amazon. It's just a nice dark brown liner, and I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty liquid lipstick. This is in the color Courage, and I've been hooked on this lately. Before this, I used to always use my nude lipstick from e.l.f. and this is in the color Touch of Nude, and this is what it looks like. Nice little light colored nude there, but I've been hooked on this Rare Beauty lipstick. I love the texture of it, and I love that it doesn't like get super dry on my lips, so I'll be going in with that.
Want your love, want your love, nah, nah. Want your love, want your love, nah, nah. Not anymore. 'Cause I don't even want your love, nah, nah. Want your love, nah, nah.
Alrighty, so now that that's applied, I'm gonna go in with my final step, and that is to apply my mascara. I like to do that after my face is completely dry, completely set and everything, because this part is tricky right here. Like, mascara can really make a mess. So I just like to take my time, do it really carefully after my makeup is done, really just make sure I get it on there nice and neatly. So I'm gonna go into the upper lids first to blend my lashes with the falsies. And now, without dipping the brush back in there, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of mascara over my lower lashes.
It's been a while since we were good, so why we dragging out?
And I don't know if I said it or not, but the mascara that I'm using is the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Eyelash mascara, and it's just a really good mascara. This is like a holy grail for me. It just goes on so pigmented. Like, you can see, it really did make a difference on my eyes, so I love this mascara, although it can get a little bit messy sometimes. Thank you all so much for watching this video on how I get my very simple and youthful makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed it. All of the products that I used in this video will be linked in the description. So if you're interested in any of these specific items, check that description. But I hope you all liked my routine. Like I said, I am in my late 30s, and I used to do my makeup in a way that did make me look older. So people really thought I was older at a point in my life, but now I do my makeup to the point where people don't even know how old I am. So I'm sure you guys know now, because I said I'm in my late 30s. But you know, you can never really tell just walking down the street how old I am, because I do my makeup in such a way that it does make me look a lot younger. And I hope I shared that routine with you all in case you're interested in also, you know, looking a little more youthful, a little more fresh with your makeup. But I want to thank everybody again for watching. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the channel. I welcome you. You are going to love our little family here. So welcome, girlfriend. I love y'all so much. Happy holidays, happy new year, happy everything to y'all. Stay safe, take care. See y'all on the next one. Bye, guys.